Secret Fire. This is by CJ Daughtery and Carina Rozenfeld. CJ Daughtery wrote The Night School, and I will do a review on that series because it's wow. There are a lot of books I have read, and Night School is by far one of my favourite. So again, I decided to read one of the author's other books. I've never read a book by Carina Rozenfeld before, but this was really good. So I definitely would try one of her books. And inside this book it does have a list of the other books that the authors have wrote. One of her books, it's all in French, but they are here. She does have a lot of books she's written, whereas CJ's only really written The Night School, but The Night School was amazing. So this one, A Battle Against Fate, A Race Against Time. I do like this cover, actually. So Taylor Montclair is a regular girl from the quiet backwater of Woodbury, England. Sacha Winters is a darkly mysterious boy from the City of Lights, Paris, France. While Taylor is focused on her dream of attending Oxford University, school can be further from Sacha's mind. Sacha knows exactly when he's going to die. He's done it before. On the appointed day, Sacha's time will run out, and his death will fulfil an ancient destiny that could unleash chaos and catastrophe. Taylor is the only person who can save him. Neither of them know that yet. They haven't even met. Hundreds of miles and a body of water separate them. Deadly forces will stop at nothing to keep them apart. They have 8 weeks to find each other and unravel an ancient web of mystery and danger. The clock starts now. So CJ is from England, London, and Carina is from Paris, France. So they decided to create a book together, and they've got the Paris lifestyle, the London lifestyle, and they've put it together and they've created an amazing book. So Taylor is from London and she goes to school, she's got a best friend, she's got a boyfriend, you know, she's a bit of a geek. She never thought that she would get her boyfriend because they're nothing like each other. He's a football star and, like, you know, sports and whatever, and her best friend is like so girly, and Taylor's, although she's blonde, she's got the curly hair, she's completely different to her friends. Sacha is in Paris, and he is the opposite because he doesn't go to school, he doesn't care about it anymore, he doesn't really have any friends. He's got this one guy that he sort of does like deals with and whatever, and you know, but they both got a mum that they live with. They both don't have their dad around. Taylor's dad left them, whereas Sacha's dad died. They've both got a sister about 12 and 13, so they're very much alike in their lifestyle, like their home life and stuff, but they're very different in what they actually like. So Sacha's a bit of a bad boy because he doesn't care anymore. I mean, you know, if you can't die and you know when you're going to die, like, live fearlessly. Whereas Taylor is a lot more head down, learn Oxford. So Taylor's grandfather works at Oxford and she's always wanted to fulfil that part of her life, to be in Oxford. Whereas Sacha just can't die and knows when he's going to die, so he's just sort of taking each day as it goes and just doing whatever he wants, really. Okay, so Taylor's in London and she does French and she's very good at it. So good that her teacher says to her, look, if you can take this email address for this boy called Sacha who lives in Paris and teach him teach him English, and he passes his exams, you'll get credit to go onto your file for Oxford to say that you've helped teach a boy to learn French, English. So she gets this email, she's like, oh, I really don't want to do this, you know, I can't be bothered, but okay, whatever. So she emails Sacha this nice email just to say, look, I got your email from my teacher, we can do whatever you want involving you learning English, we can do a book, we could, you know, do something else. Thank you, best regards, Taylor, and sends it to Sacha. He is actually doing... he actually owes this guy called Antonio money. So him and Antonio are on a building, and Sacha says, if I jump off this building and I survive and I meet you at that door down the bottom, I don't owe you any money. The guy's like, sure, okay, you try that. You jump off that building, you survive, you meet me at that door, and sure, you don't owe me nothing. So Sacha stands there and he falls back, and Antonio looks down and thinks that he's dead and thinks, okay, walks down all the way to the door, and he's like, yep, can't see you. All of a sudden, knock knock, open the door, Sacha's standing right there like, yeah, I don't owe you nothing. And Antonio's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, how did you do that, how did you do that? He thinks it's a magic trick. He shoots off, and Sacha's like, okay, that's done. So he then checks his phone and he sees this message from Taylor. He replies, he's pretty rude about it, says he doesn't need her help, whatever, and she gets the message back and she's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, I won't teach you then. And then stuff is happening in Sacha's life where he does this deal with Antonio where they could win a lot of money, because these guys reckon that, you know, he won't survive, so they all bet on him that he won't survive. Anyway, it turns out he does survive, and he jumps off this building again and kills himself, and he miraculously turns up and he's like, I'm okay, I'm not dead. So he wins a lot of money with Antonio, but then long story short, these guys are then after Sacha, and he fears that his mum and sister will get involved and, you know, they could end up dead. So these guys are basically on Sacha's back, and Sacha doesn't care about his life anymore, because, you know, he knows he's going to die when he's 18, so until that day comes, it doesn't matter, he can't die. These guys could beat him up and shoot him and, you know, cut his arms off, and it wouldn't matter because he wouldn't die, although he wouldn't have any arms, but still, the point is he wouldn't die. So Taylor eventually starts talking to Sacha again because he apologises, and they start chatting. But something's happening with Taylor. Spoiler. Taylor is developing this magical ability to do things that she can't control. So, for example, she has an argument with her boyfriend, and he breaks up with her, and he's really nasty to her, and all of a sudden she gets really angry, and she can lift him up from the ground, and he's in front of her, and she's like, oh my god, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? And anyway, the teacher comes in, you know, the teacher that actually knows what's happening with her, and he helps her and sorts that out. What's happening with Taylor that she can't explain, magical abilities, and her grandfather meets her, and her grandfather is from her paternal side, and he knows exactly what she's going through because he can do everything that she can do as well, and he believes that she is the strongest alchemist that there has ever been because she is involved in Sacha's life, but she doesn't know that yet. So Sacha is trying to figure out why he will die when he's 18. There's this, every first son born on that family's side will die when he's 18, and until then he cannot die. So he goes back to this curse, and he finds that his dad was trying to stop the curse as well. Now, it never happened to his dad because he wasn't the first child, he wasn't the first son of that line, but it turns out that it stops with the 13th son. And who is the 13th son? Sacha. So Sacha tries to find out why he is cursed and what's happened, and Taylor's trying to find out about herself. And her grandfather is connected because Sacha's dad was talking to her grandfather about the whole thing, and her grandfather was talking to him about trying to stop this curse. So they both meet up in Paris. Taylor goes all the way down there on the train, and she meets up with Sacha, and they figure out between them what's going on. So they go back to his school teacher who gave him her email to talk to each other because they've basically been set up, and he speaks to him about the curse, and he says, look, I don't know much. All we know is that you can both save each other. So you can help with her, you know, abilities and whatever, and she can help break your curse. We don't know how. That's the problem. So Sacha is searching, and so is Taylor, and Sacha comes across something from his father's study, which is back at his aunt's in the countryside in France, and he finds out that the 13th son and the 13th daughter, which is what Taylor is, will break the curse, because I think it was the 16th century, back when they used to burn witches and they hated witchcraft and all that, even though they didn't understand it, and half the time they weren't actually witches, like that thing where they used to drown a woman who they believed was a witch. If she survived, she was a witch. If she drowned, she wasn't a witch. But if she drowned, she could have been a witch. I don't know, whatever. It was one of those stupid things that they used to do back then, which I learned on Horrible Histories. So the 13 generations ago, there was this witch, and she was tried, and she was going to be burnt at the stake, and there was this group of men who were Sacha's ancestors, 13 generations or whatever ago, and she cursed them, and they all believed that she cursed them for no reason and that she was bad. But actually, you know, if you're being hunted and everything and you're going to be burnt at the stake, of course you're going to curse them back. So she cursed that the 13th son of the generations, whatever, would die, would stop the curse. Until then, every one of your sons will die on their 18th birthday. Maybe she was 18 at the time, I don't know. Maybe that's why she chose the 18th thing. And then obviously along the lines, the 13th daughter will be able to break the curse. And if she doesn't break the curse, the 13th son will cause, spoiler, this witch was trying to use her blood to summon the devil, because she was using dark magic, dark stuff. And what happened was, they caught her in the act and were hunting her down, and then she cursed them. So she said to them, look, I'm cursing you, I'm cursing all of your sons before you, your first son of every son. They will die on the 18th birthday, and they will sacrifice their blood 13 times, maybe that's how much blood she needed left, I don't know, 13 times until all hell breaks loose. And obviously the 13th daughter, with their magical powers, because she was a woman, can break that curse and stop the devil coming back. Now apparently the devil is not the red-horned devil with his stick. It is actually total destruction of the earth. And there are these things called the bringers, and the first person to encounter these is Sacha, because he hears this boom 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 on his door, and he thinks it's these guys from Antonio that have been hunting him. But actually it turns out there's these shrunken skull, white face, pasty guys in black that turn up and actually have these magical abilities which look a bit like the Silence from Doctor Who, and they turn up and basically are saying to him, you are the 13th son. They do not want him and Taylor to meet, because if they meet, they realise that actually they're going to die and they're going to turn to dust, and they will stop this prophecy. So Taylor and Sacha are obviously meeting because there's something that is connecting them, which is obviously this, that they don't know what it is yet, but they're trying to meet to sort this out. These bringers guys find out that these two are actually meeting, and are like, damn, you guys are not meeting, so let's destroy you guys. Sacha barely makes it out alive, gets on his motorbike and goes to his aunt's in the middle of France, and he goes off. But apparently you can't outrun these people, you cannot hide from them, you can't destroy them, they will destroy you. And every single alchemist that has tried to, you know, hurt these bringers has died in the process. There is no way to destroy these bringers. So eventually, long story short, Sacha then comes to London to meet Taylor, and by meeting, spoiler, they destroy destroy these bringers together using her magic. And this is at the point in the story when they realise, Sacha and Taylor both realise, and every other alchemist around them realises, that them two together is actually more powerful than they believed. They believed that Taylor is this very powerful alchemist and no one can be like her. And, you know, they don't realise how powerful she is, because Sacha is basically like her amp. He can amplify her magic and her powers, and she can destroy these bringers, and no one can destroy these bringers. And there's other cool characters in it. Her grandfather has got this girl, and, you know, she's like different hair colour, she wears these leather boots and this jacket, and she's kind of cool, but yeah, she's kind of mean, and she ends up becoming Taylor's like best friend. And she trains her and she helps her. And there's some sad stuff as well, like a close member and someone close to Taylor dies, and you know, there's a lot of sad stuff in it as well. And you realise, you know, that her dad left her, and you know, it's quite sad because he just one day got up, left her, and now he's got a new family. And obviously, you know, Sacha's dad has been trying his hardest to stop this curse, and he ends up dying in a car crash caused by. And there's this powerful alchemist that is involved in why these bringers are here. You know, so there's a lot more to this story, but my god, this story was good. And I'm so excited to start reading the next one, called The Secret City. So I'm going to tell you what this one's about, just in case you have read this and you do want to read it, and if not, then you know what the next video is going to be about, this one. So this one is by both the same authors, so they're still combined. So remember, demons lie. So this is a major spoiler, okay, so please stop watching until you can get to the end. So this is a major spoiler to this book, because I'm going to read you the blurb to the second book, which is obviously going to tell you about the first one. So locked inside the fortified walls at Oxford's St Wilfrid's College, surrounded by alchemists sworn to protect them, Taylor and Sacha are safe from the darkness, for now. But time is short. In 7 days Sacha will turn 18, and the ancient curse that once made him invincible will kill him, unleashing unimaginable demonic horror upon the world. There's one way to stop it. There is one way to stop it. Taylor and Sacha must go to where the curse was first cast, the medieval French city of Carcassonne, and face the demons. The journey will be dangerous, and monsters are waiting for them. But as darkness descends on Oxford, their choice is stark. They must face everything that scares them, or lose everything they love. Wow, I can't wait to read it. Oh, I'm so excited. So that will be my next video. So yeah, tune in next time if you want to know about that book. If not, then the following week I will do another book. I don't normally tell you what my next video is going to be about, but because it's a series, it's fitting that I have the book, so I will do the next one. It's only if I'm waiting for that book to come out that I won't be able to do it the following week. And if obviously the series is 4 books long, then you'll get 4 books, or 4 videos of me doing those books. So thank you again for watching my review on The Secret Fire. I do have to say one more thing about these books though, is these covers are really, really cool. Even the next one that I'm going to spoil for you is pretty cool as well, and even the back. I liked that it was about Paris and France and London, England. I mean, England and France have got a lot of history, like the kings and the queens, like it dates back a long, long time, so it's fitting that these two cities / countries get together. So yeah, I really liked it, and obviously I haven't read any of Carina's, and yeah, like I said, I haven't read any of Carina's books. If you have, let me know what they're like. But if these two can create a really good story like this, then obviously I know that CJ Daughtery is a good author anyway, but it just shows that they're really good. A lot of people don't like books that have been written by 2 authors. I suppose if the books are completely different, you worry that it's going to be a good book. But if you haven't read this book, I would definitely recommend reading it. And if you have read this book and you've read the second one, let me know. Let me know below if you have read it, because it's really good. And if you've read The Night School, let me know as well, because The Night School is fantastic. I'm definitely going to read it again and give you guys a review on The Night School. This will be the 3rd time I've read it. But yeah, it's really, really good. So yes, thank you again for watching my video, and I will see you next week. Bye!